Hey everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the 2025 Eric's Trains Christmas Bonanza. 8 videos in 8 days, starting on Christmas Day and ending with a live show on New Year's Day. So yesterday for day 1, we took a look at the Lionel Vision Line pre-war inspired Hudson set. That was a set headed by a beautiful steam engine. Today, we're going to check out a couple of diesels. Specifically, these are Duluth-Mesabian Iron Range SD24 diesels made by MTH. This was a custom run done by Mr. Muffins Trains a couple years ago, and it's coming up right now on Eric's Trains. Okay, so Mr. Muffins offered these in 2022, and I bought them not long after they arrived in 2023. Actually, I bought them at the York Train Show up in York, Pennsylvania. And I got them because my now wife, Lisa, she's from Minnesota. She has a lot of memories of visiting DMIR stuff in museums there, including a Yellowstone. And so for her, DMIR is sort of a nostalgic thing. So we're at Mr. Muffins now. And we're getting checked out. And we just bought 2 of these custom run DMIR SD24's, and we got both road numbers, so this will be cool. Lisa's a big DMIR fan, so she's been on the lookout for DMIR stuff. We were deciding between the Atlas over there
and RSD Alco RSD 7/15.
Okay, RSD 7/15.
Yep.
Or the PS3 SD24's, and we went with the SD24's because I think this stuff up here is really cool looking. Now, unfortunately, right now, I don't have a ton of DMIR rolling stock. I do have some DMIR ore cars that came with the MTH Yellowstone set that I got years ago. And I've also got a DMIR caboose thanks to Lisa, because not long after we started dating, she got me a Duluth-Mesabian Iron Range caboose made by Atlas. And, you know, that was when I kind of knew she was a keeper, because not only did she have a dad who was into trains, and so she kind of understood the mania of people in this hobby, but then she gets me a DMIR caboose not long after we start dating. I mean, that kind of clinched it, and at that point, I knew I had to marry her. Now, not only did Lisa figure into my purchasing these DMIR SD24's, but to both of us, Lisa and I, these are very special locomotives, because when I asked Lisa to marry me on Christmas Day 2023, I came down here the night before and I put the engagement ring in one of the DMIR ore cars that I already had, and those ore cars were pulled by these 2 SD24's the next morning. I made a video about that a while back, so if you haven't seen it, check it out, but needless to say, she said yes. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about the history of the SD24. So the SD24 is a 2,400 horsepower 6-axle diesel locomotive built by EMD between July of 1958 and March of 1963, with a total of 224 units being produced for U.S. railroads, of which 179 were regular cab units like these, and 45 were cabless booster B units. Now, although the SD24 was only a moderate success, I mean, they only sold 224 of them, because it was the first EMD locomotive to have a supercharged diesel, it was an important milestone and sort of paved the way for modern high-powered 6-axle diesel locomotives. And you know, it often happens like that, doesn't it? The things that are ahead of their time or the first to do something, they usually don't do so well in their time, but later on they're considered milestones and they really pave the way for the future. Now, the Duluth-Mesabian Iron Range paint scheme on these things is actually pretty interesting, because originally EMD thought that the DMIR would want to purchase the SD24. And so to that end, EMD painted the first demonstrator unit in DMIR colors in anticipation of the purchases. But ultimately, the DMIR did not end up buying any SD24's, and so the demonstrator ended up going to the Union Pacific instead. So what we have here is sort of kind of a fantasy. They did paint the demo in DMIR colors, although it wasn't numbered or anything like that. So this is kind of completing that demo, and then we've also got a second unit behind that, just because, you know, it's cool. I mean, I think we can all agree 2 engines are better than 1. Now, although almost every SD24 was eventually scrapped, there are 2 that are known to be preserved. CB&Q number 504 was completely restored at the Illinois Railway Museum, and CB&Q 510 is at the National Railroad Museum in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So let's get some quick stats on these, just in case you're curious. The overall length is right at 14.5 inches long. The weight is just a hair under 4 pounds 11 ounces. The minimum required curve needed to operate these locomotives is 0.36, and when I tested the pulling power, it came in right at 2 pounds, which is great for a locomotive of this size. Now, both of these are powered locomotives. We've got number 194 and 197, and taking a quick look around these, I mean, it's just a really cool looking engine, and the main reason I was drawn to it, other than it being DMIR, was because of these little tanks up here. I'm not exactly sure what those are for. I'm sure somebody does. Maybe it's part of the turbocharging mechanism. I don't know. But it just looks cool. We've got this cool fan housing here. And I love the paint scheme too. I mean, it's just a fantastic looking model. These do have PS3 on board. So, you know, the most current MTH control system. And it's also got a fan-driven smoke unit. All LED lighting. You know, all the stuff you'd expect on a modern MTH engine made in 2023. So, yeah, looks great. Now, of course, I really don't have to do a BFIMO because you guys know what my favorite feature is. It's the fact that I use these to ask Lisa to marry me. I mean, that kind of says it all. Anyway, we'll put it back on the layout. We'll put some cars behind these things, start them up, and run them around the layout for a minute.
Is she ready to go? Compressor checks out A-OK. Make sure the sand bins are topped off. All right, I'll check that out. Sand bins are topped off. Yep, she's in good shape. Thanks.
Dispatch answering, over. Dispatch, over. Dispatch answering, over. Not sure if you heard, but we got a hot box at 63.5. We're going to bring the train to a safe stop so the conductor can check it out. That's a Roger, local freight. Let me know what your conductor finds, over. Roger, local freight out.
Conductor and engineer, over.
Engineer answering, over.
Yeah, smells like the brakes might be sticking on this car. Give me a release. Over.
Roger, here comes the release.
Roger, good release. Walking back to you. Let's hope it doesn't lock up again.
Local freight calling dispatch, over. Dispatch answering, over. Just a stock brake on a car. We got it to release. Conductor's walking towards the head end. Roger, stand by. Calling local freight, over. Local freight, over. When your conductor gets back on board, okay west from where you stand, over. That's a Roger. Here we go west.
Okay, great. See you next shift.
All right, so there you have it, the Mr. Muffins custom run MTH DMIR SD24's. I love these things, especially because they figured into my asking Lisa to marry me, and so they'll always be special for that reason. But above that, they're just really cool models. They look great, they sound great, and they run great. Now, in terms of what they cost, I can't remember. The information is no longer on Mr. Muffin's website, but I think when we were at York, you know, I negotiated for them. I think they were somewhere around $450, something like that. The price isn't the reason I'm doing this video. I'm just doing this because these are cool and these are special to me. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for day 2 of the 2025 Eric's Trains Christmas Bonanza. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3. To discuss this model or any other O-gauge model, or just to talk trains in general, check out the OGR online forum at ogrforum.com.